today's 26-minute Dakar, the celebrations kick off in Bolivia as race fever grips the fans and President Morales comes to the Dakar. Day 2 for the Bolivian bikes as the enormity of the Uyuni salt flats is matched by the speed of the crane. Peaks, summits, call them what you will, the mountains of the Dakar bring their own very real dangers. In the car, science pushes the limits as the race threads through the Andes into Chile. And our legends talk about their first Dakar moments in today's Dakar passions. All that and more coming up in today's 26-minute Dakar, the race to Calamar. Bolivia. It's a place that calls for boldness and braveness. The kind of drive that took early explorers to the next horizon, the next turn. Cultural, historical and spiritual depths and richness of Latin America's most indigenous nation are astounding. They embrace the arrival of the Dakar with excitement and fervour, astounding rides. Fans line the route as the bikes forge new paths across the high plains, through the valleys, and across the peaks. The Uni was a sea of people, often as proud of colour and smile, and overwhelmed the riders of the President of Bolivia, Evo Morales, followed the race from the moment it entered the country and was there at the finish to share in the joy of the fans. He was greeted by the Bolivian star of the rally, Juan Carlos Salvatierra.
Mira, tanta gente concentrada en una fiesta deportiva y agradecer a la ASO por aceptarnos esta gran participación que el pueblo vive y esperamos que estas instituciones sigan dando más fuerza para unir a los pueblos, el deporte para unir a los pueblos y por eso muy contento, muy feliz.
The President then moved to the finish podium to greet the fans who were revelling in the atmosphere of the race and watching Salvatierra take his turn at the stage finish. President Morales enjoying fighting in these Dakar. So tough, historic and clear. All the riders
The law for it, we are going to do French first, then in Spanish, and we are going to finish English.
Soirée de l'essence au DSS pour 139
Previously in the bike, Cyril Dupre is over 2 hours behind Coma, but he will never give up the chase.
C'est mon tempérament d'attaquer, donc je vais y aller.
Struggling to keep up the pace in the mountains, Duclos is losing his way.
Je crois que je dois être sujet au mal de l'altitude.
Minute by minute, Bereda is fighting back towards Valparaiso. We're going to fight to try to do it. It will be a great moment for Honda. The second half of the Bolivian Marathon is go and the race is heating up. Today's stage takes the bikes all the way around the salt flats as they roar into Chile. Nothing so far seen on the Dakar can prepare the riders for the sheer magnificence of the Sala de Uyuni, the world's largest unbroken tract of salt flats. A spectacle that dazzles as the racers scorch their way through Bolivia. Despite being unable to speak at the end of stage 7, the KTM rider is riding as hard as ever. By waypoint 8, Coma had just managed to overhaul Bereda after trailing by 2 minutes early on. He overhauled the Honda rider on the timesheets and began to close on the leader. Every second counts for Bereda right now, and he fought tooth and nail with Coma to the end. By checkpoint 10, he was back to only 7 seconds down. At the line, the Honda rider did it 6 seconds faster than Coma, who's suffering with no voice.
Contento porque he ido abriendo todo el día, he salido primero, he llegado primero, para mí es muy bueno, muy contento.
Bueno, etapa maratón complicada, ¿no? Dura con el tema de la altura y hoy muchos kilómetros y bueno, contento por cómo ha ido todo.
For Dupre, it was his first stage win of the year by 2 minutes and 10 seconds. It's a landmark moment for the Yamaha rider, though he was understated about the achievement come the finish.
L'idée, c'est pas réellement de chasser des victoires d'étape. L'idée, c'est d'essayer de revenir au maximum aux avant-postes. Et bon, aujourd'hui, en essayant de combler le gap qu'il y avait entre moi et les premiers, j'ai gagné la spéciale, donc tant mieux, ça fait toujours plaisir.
Early technical problems dropped Duclos to 66 and half an hour back. The Sherco rider climbed back up the leaderboard in terms of places to 23rd at the line, but he couldn't make up the time on the leaders. And that has hurt his chances of the overall podium. Olivier Pain has not had the pure speed of last year when he led the rally in the first week, but he was closer to it today. Racing tooth and nail in the times with Mikael Metsch and Helder Rodriguez for 4th place on a strong day for the Yamaha team. Pain lost that particular battle with Helder Rodriguez on the CRF 450, who's really upping his game as the race hits its stride. If it wasn't for early problems, he could have been a real threat to the podium overall. For Jeremiah Israel, the Chilean has shown real flashes of speed over the last few days, and he benefited from the problems of Duclos to gain serious time on 4th place in the standings. But on the day, he was not the fastest of the Chilean riders. That honour went to Daniel Guet. Tamarugal XC Rally Honda Team rider blitzed his best day of the rally with 8th. 2013 Chilean national cross-country champion was just 13 minutes 23 off the lead on the day's fast tracks. Laia Sanz continues to hassle the top 20 overall. At the rest day, she's at 20th, and she's now in 17th position. 15th today. So, Cyril Desprez takes it. 5 hours, 23 minutes and 20 seconds of racing. Bereda just 2 minutes and 9 seconds. And look at that gap back to Coma, just 6 seconds ahead of Rodriguez and Olivier Kahn. Mark Coma continues to lead the way. 38 minutes now the gap to join Bereda boards. Villadoms loses time in third, as does Duclos, and Jeremiah Israel, the biggest gainer of the day, 152 back. Yesterday, Chilean rider Ignacio Casale took back the overall lead in the quads just before the Dakar enters his country. Today, Casale confirmed that he is the man to beat, leading the race at every waypoint and winning his 4th stage of the year. Casale increased his overall lead. Overall since he lost more than 2 hours 3 days ago. Sebastian Husseini, the lead Honda, found some new energy to clock the 2nd best time of the day, nearly 9 minutes from Casale's time. Unfortunately for him, it's almost 3 hours from 3rd place. Former leader of the quad category, Sergio Lafuente, seems powerless against the flying Casale. For the 3rd day in a row, the Uruguayan rider had to satisfy himself with the 3rd best time. Lafuente stays 2nd overall, 22 minutes. Rafał Sonik was less than 30 minutes behind Casale overall this morning, but the Polish rider seemed unable to follow the rhythm of the Chilean. Sonik took the 4th best time of the day, 16 minutes from the winner. Coming next in the cars, Roma's luck might be on the turn as the Fesh grabs the leader's mini. Almost 1 week after beating the altitude record for a special stage, the riders will once again face the dangers of high altitude, as they'll spend the day at close to 4,000 meters. For some of them, altitude sickness is the real enemy.
La altura fue difícil.
Sí, la altura fue problema con la temperatura, las piedras, bueno, todo fue un problema.
Au départ, le problème c'est le manque d'oxygène, donc on a le mal des montagnes, il y a des gens qui supportent bien, d'autres moins. Et c'est évidemment amplifié par le fait de faire des efforts physiques. On tombe dans une sorte de, on peut tomber dans une sorte de brouillard, de manque de vigilance. C'est pour ça qu'il y a eu des briefings, on les a préparés, on leur a expliqué qu'il fallait s'hydrater.
During stage 3, which climbed above 4,300 meters, the medical helicopter landed over 30 times to take care of riders and help them to fight against dehydration. Man suffers, and so do the bike suffers, and we suffered a lot. Everything was difficult.
Todo difícil.
The bike lost power because of the lack of oxygen. The bike didn't have any power at all. There were so many rocks. Actually, it was a mountain of rocks around us. It was so hard for us today. Since 2009, altitude is a new parameter that manufacturers have been trying to overcome. With new electronics and fuel injection, engines are better built to deal with altitude, but they still suffer.
Plus on va monter en altitude, plus l'air
The more
va
you
se
rise in altitude,
et
the
en
more the
fait,
air will thin.
il n'y aura pas suffisamment d'air et trop d'essence. Donc le moteur ne va plus avoir puissance et ne va plus avoir de vitesse. Pour modifier ça, on a des capteurs de pression sur la moto qui nous indiquent de faire les modifications en permanence, de réajuster en permanence la valeur d'essence en fonction de l'altitude.
Almost 40 riders, bikes and quads failed to reach barrier during stage 3 last Tuesday. There were 101 leaving Uyuni this morning. Previously in the car, Roma is riding high in the Andes and he knows the pressure is on.
No estoy corriendo menos. Si yo corro menos, mi cabeza está pensando en otras cosas y yo tengo que estar concentrado.
On va essayer de se rapprocher de la première place. La seule possibilité, c'est d'attaquer au maximum.
The Hilux is suffering in altitude, but last year's runner-up is not giving up.
We will definitely keep on fighting, and I still think we in with a chance for sure.
Dominant in stage 7, Sainz is renewed in the rocket ship SMG.
Intentar ir ganando todas las etapas que pueda y hacer un buen rally.
Stand back, they're coming. The cars are over the Andes to Chile. While the bikers were leaving Bolivia, the car crews said farewell to Argentina as they took 302 Ks of special. Despite Carlos Sainz's win yesterday, the SMG mechanics worked all night on the buggy to have it ready for another demanding special. And it was an early rise for El Matador, eager to try and clinch as many stage wins as possible. I hope it'll be okay. The drivers had then a long drive across the Andes, through the Paso de Cisco and into Chile at 4,001.
It's okay, but okay, we use the oxygen and it was no problem, but we try to keep going and we cross the altitude.
After 7 stages in Argentina and a festive rest day in Salta, the Dakar crews went through customs and had their cars checked before entering Chile. So after a 522-kilometre drive, it was time for the real battle. Sainz opened the way in spectacular style. He led the whole day, but only managed to clock the 3rd fastest time. It's been a roller coaster ride for Bernard ten Brink. Quite a few ups and downs, but it was luck today with a fine 9th spot in his HRS. Giniel de Villiers has been complaining about power issues at altitude. And again, South Africa wasn't quite as fast as the mini boys. He lost 9 minutes on the day's winner and only keeps his 3rd spot overall by just 3 minutes. After a slight setback yesterday, Orlando Terranova hit back. The Argentinian clinched 4th spot, hoping to again, all the pressure was on the shoulders of race leader Nani Roma. Only this time he was starting behind his rivals. The Catalan, however, did lose more time, finishing 6th.
Bueno, muy bien, hemos pinchado 2 veces, he tenido que parar 2 veces a cambiar las ruedas, hemos perdido bastante tiempo, pero bueno.
Stefan Peter-Hansel has just 6 days to conquer a 12th title and gain half an hour on Nani Roma. The Frenchman did a 4th on the day, beating Roma by just over 8 minutes. He's now 23 back overall. After capturing 2nd spot on the special and managing his best performance in a mini yesterday, Nasser Al-Attiyah went 1 step higher today. The Qatari claimed his 1st stage success in a mini, his 18th success on the Dakar.
It's not easy, the altitude is very high and you feel it in the power in the engine. But okay, I'm quite happy to make a good stage.
So Al-Attiyah won the stage by 1 minute 12. Sainz just 1 minute and 22 back. Terranova 6:40 back, and Holovic rounds our top 5 on the day. But in the standings, it's still Nani Roma who leads from Peter-Hansel by 23:46. De Villiers is 48:25 back. Terranova just 3 minutes behind him. Al-Attiyah still in 5th, 1 hour 9 back. Coming next in the trucks, Nikolaev raises the bar as the truck race starts to get serious. Since visiting the Dakar on the rest day in Salta, Sebastian Loeb also decided to cross the Andes this morning. The 9-time world rally champion chose the Paso de Llama, 4,300 meters, to go to Chile and Calama Bivouac at the end of the 8th stage of the 2014 Dakar. After quite a few upsets already along the line, BJ Baldwin isn't making friends in this year's Dakar.
Sport. You know what you're doing. Sporting aspect. What is this? He's running in. It's not stock car here. Okay? Why is your sentinel? Why is your sentinel? 2-3 days ago, the same. You go in, they should stand in bivouac and you pay.
Hey, I'm trying to
or claim or you pay.
Tough times for the big American. Only 15 kilometers from Calama, Chuquicamata is the biggest open cast copper mine in the world. It contains 13% of the world's copper stocks. It's 850 meters deep at its deepest point, and it makes it the second deepest open-air mine in the world. 65% of the people living in Calama depend on this pit's economic activity. In the truck race, the battle continued during yesterday's stage 7. After his victory before the rest day, Peter Verschluis took off first. A tough task for the Dutchman in his second-man truck. 21st overall, he got a great 4th spot, promising more in his quest to move up the standings. Ever since the start of the Dakar, Alain Lapresse has been struggling to keep in touch with the commands of his Roy trucks. The Czech lost further time, an extra 10 minutes on the stage finish. Another solid and consistent drive from the 2007 Dakar winner Hans Stacey. 2 tasks for the Dutchman, 1 helped Gerard de Roy, and 2 close in on the podium. Tough times for Marcel Van Viet, who carries on stumbling down the standings. 8th overall in the morning, he lost close to an hour on the stage, dropping down. So, to the charging commands armada. 3 men have decided to make Gerard de Roy's life a nightmare. Dmitry Sotnikov is one of them, a precious asset in 4th spot overall. He got the second fastest time in stage 7. Despite winning last year's running, Eduard Nikolaev is yet to win a stage on the Dakar. Pushing hard to try and put the pressure on Roy, the Russian entered the history books as a stage winner in Saudi. He remains 3rd overall, over an hour. Stage 7 was not a good day for Andrei Karganov. He lost time on the race leader, just under 9 minutes on Gerard de Roy. His time deficit in the overall grove was 37 minutes. All in all, it meant good news for Gerard de Roy. The Dutchman showed what a mature driver he's become. He was flying in his Iveco long-nose truck. Proof of that is the Dutchman would eventually be 5th at the car stand for both classes.
Mi primera fue en el año 96, mi primer Dakar, y lo más impresionante fue cuando puse los pies en África por primera vez.
It was the real start. I'd been dreaming of it for a long time. I'd seen it, witnessed it from the outside, and I wanted to start. It was a real accomplishment. You're on the podium, someone pats you on the shoulder, and you tell yourself, it's my turn, and that's the great memory.
When we do the prologue stage, it was completely snow. I was really freezing, but you know, like I said, okay, just to finish this stage, and after, you know, we push all the way to cross from France to Spain, I am sure it will be more warm there, you know.
Awesome battle with a childhood, or I shouldn't say a childhood because our careers were going at the same time, but I got to do battle head to head with Colin McRae. And you know, I think I won day 1, Colin won day 2, I won day 3, Colin won day 4, and we both crashed on day 5.
No fue bueno.
Fue en
2011, pero tuve una caída el primer día, después quería volver a recuperar y era muy difícil con mucho polvo y tuve otra caída y ya me quedé fuera.
C'était Dakar 2000, c'est-à-dire vérification à Paris. Et je pense qu'un des moments qui resteront gravés dans ma mémoire, c'est les vérifications Bois de Vincennes et pour aller jusqu'au podium Champ de Mars. Voilà, de se balader dans Paris avec une moto, un casque, un blouson avec plein de sponsors dans tous les sens et un logo Dakar compétiteur. Ça a été un moment inoubliable.
Tomorrow on the 26-minute Dakar. The bikes, cars, quads and trucks join together in the race to the Pacific. Robbie Gordon will be looking to repeat his stage win of 2 years ago. And Cyril Dupre will look to build on today's stage-winning pace as they drop from the mountains to the ocean by the famous Iquique descent as the Dakar continues in Chile.
Dakar! Dakar!